Well, we're less than a month away from the big Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, and I can't stop thinking about the new Mario Kart. Like, literally. I think about this game almost every single day, and as with many of you, I'm trying to come up with some kind of idea on how this game might turn out. I know we've only seen roughly 10 seconds of this game, not even. I feel those 10 seconds are possibly saying a lot more than how it appears on the surface, though. And after scrubbing through and pulling threads from those 10 seconds, I think I have a pretty solid idea on what we can expect from the next Mario Kart game. The general vibe I get from looking at this footage is that this isn't going to be like Mario Kart 8, nor is it going to be like even Mario Kart 7. From what I gather, flight and hover mechanics are no longer going to be a thing. In fact, I believe Mario Kart 9 is going back to basics. Just from the course scene in the Switch 2 reveal trailer, I didn't see any parts of the background that looked like it could lead to crazy parts of the track. Though, this is going off of what could only be seen from a quarter or a fifth of the course. We don't know how big this course is, we don't know how small it is, but just going off of from what it seemed like, there's not much there. But the other reason I feel this way is because Nintendo does not like doing the same thing twice. You can play every single Mario Kart, none of them play the same as the other ones. If Mario Kart 9 was to include flight and hover mechanics, then it would just be Mario Kart 8 all over again, and we've done that before. So it would probably wind up making the game less impressive. While it wouldn't make sense to just make it old school pure Mario Kart again, it would make sense to go back to the basics though if you were implementing a certain feature or two. One of those features could likely be a track editor. One of the things I noticed that nobody seems to be talking about is just how generic and a little bit barren the course we saw really is. Again, I know I'm not going off of much here, but I'm trying. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But normally, a Mario Kart course has a ton of things going on between characters cheering on the sideline, decorations, stuff that brings the scenery to life. One could argue that, yes, this course is set in a desert, so it's supposed to look barren, but there's a different level of barren that I got from this shot from the trailer. This level of barren seemed more like if somebody had spent roughly 10-15 minutes putting together something a little more custom made. I think back to when I would play Mod Nation Racers on PS3. You put the track together, you see how it handles, then you go back, put some decorations in, test again, adjust, test, decorate, rinse and repeat, until you get it to where you want the track to be. That's what this track looks like to me going off of what we've been shown. And it also implies something about what we can expect from the courses in general. For as much as I would love getting spoon-fed old courses over and over again so I have an excuse to relive Mario Kart 64, Double Dash, DS, the games that me and many of you most likely grew up with, there's something about this footage that tells me we shouldn't expect retro courses to be in Mario Kart 9. Well, at least don't expect them to be in the base game. Since Mario Kart 8, we've seen a plethora of new Mario games between mainline and spin-offs. From Super Mario Odyssey, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Bowser's Fury, Luigi's Mansion 3, Mario and Luigi Brothership, Princess Peach Showtime, Yoshi's Crafted World, the remake of Super Mario RPG, Super Mario Party, and Super Mario Party Jamboree. I'm not saying that we're going to get courses from these games specifically. What these games tell me is that we'll have almost entirely new staff working on this game in particular, which means that Mario Kart 9 could be composed of wholly original courses and just those courses. There is potential for new ideas for courses, gimmicks, and more, but I would honestly expect some gimmicks to be pulled from those aforementioned games and not really much beyond that. Speaking of gimmicks, we're all familiar with the kart customization feature. Both Mario Kart 7 and Mario Kart 8 utilized this, and players were able to build rides that suited their playstyle by changing out bodies, wheels, and gliders. But this feature may not be coming back, at least not in the way we've seen it. In the small amount of footage we got in the Switch 2 reveal trailer, every character on screen seems to be driving a different kart with its own set of wheels. I believe that, just from seeing this, kart customization might be gone. The fact that every character is driving something totally different tells me we might be going back to a kart selection similar to Mario Kart DS and Mario Kart Wii. In those games, players were given a selection of pre-made karts that had their own stats. And of course, certain characters could affect those stats depending on their weight class, but that's as deep as it got. Mario Kart 9 could revert back to that old system, and if it does feature kart customization, there is a chance that each kart will feature its own customization options. I can see wheels still being universally interchangeable, but maybe tire types, exhaust pipes, and different steering wheels could allow for more fine-tuning. That's just me spitballing. But then again, to get this deep with the customization would go against Nintendo's usual philosophy in keeping games basic for general and casual audiences. Besides, most people probably just care less about what's in the game and more about who is in the game. Indeed, the characters are what most people gravitate towards when it comes to kart racers. In the case of Mario Kart 9, the one detail most have gleaned onto is the starting line. One can easily see that the new starting line now consists of 24 positions, a massive increase from Mario Kart 8's 12 starting positions. That said, we know the roster is going to be exactly 24, and honestly, I believe that might be all we get at launch. Just 24 characters, 30 at most. And we know almost every single character that will be on that roster. Of the 24, I was only able to identify the 22 that were seen in the Switch 2 reveal trailer. But it's kind of your usual suspects. Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Wario, Waluigi, Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, Baby Peach, Baby Daisy, Baby Rosalina, surprisingly, Yoshi, Birdo, Bowser, Donkey Kong, Bowser Jr., Pauline, Koopa, Shy Guy, Toad, Toadette, and King Boo. I could not identify the other two characters that might have been seen. I did see a few people claim that they saw Lakitu, but of the evidence I've seen, I can't see them. I wouldn't be surprised if we wind up getting basically the same roster as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I mean, just look at this. Who are we really missing? I mean, you could probably throw in Mallow and Geno if Nintendo can work something out with Square Enix. You can get Prince Florian in there as a new lightweight, same with Cappy, but overall, that's pretty much it. But really, the big game changer out of all of the things that we could expect from Mario Kart 9, the one feature that I think Mario Kart 9 is going to zero in on, it's the one that we've all been wanting for what feels like forever. An adventure mode. Look, I'm not a visionary like most of the staff at Nintendo probably are. I don't know what Mario Kart could do that hasn't already been done or the series itself hasn't done already. And the only direction I can see the IP going into that it hasn't explored is to simply borrow from Diddy Kong Racing, Crash Team Racing, and the Forza Horizon series. Give us players a proper campaign. It doesn't have to be a sprawling open world necessarily, but it'd be cool to be able to freely drive around, take on special missions in between races, and overall give more purpose to time trials instead of keeping them in their own silo. You could do other things with races and time trials and battle mode. It kind of encourages the player to partake in everything that the game has to offer. But the closest we ever got to having a campaign of any sort was in Mario Kart DS with the mission mode. So Nintendo has dipped their toes into this aspect at one point, so why not go all in with this one? But that's really all I can glean onto from what little we've seen of this game, so please, I want to know what you guys are thinking down in the comments below. Am I on the money? Am I crazy and stupid and don't know what I'm talking about? And do any of you have any ideas on what we can probably expect? Let me know in the comments below, and hopefully I'll see you again when more Mario Kart news breaks in the coming weeks.